graves.
Yes, said the child, it is the truth. I know it is. Who should feel its force so much as I, in whom your little scholar lives again? Dear, dear good friend, if you knew the comfort you have given me.
The poor schoolmaster made her no answer, but bent over her in silence, for his heart was full. They were yet seated in the same place when the grandfather approached. Before they had spoken many words together, the church clock struck the hour of school, and their friend withdrew. 'A good man,' said the grandfather, looking after him. 'A kind man. Surely he will never harm us, Nell. We are safe here at last, eh? We will never go away from here.' The child shook her head and smiled. 'She needs rest,' said the old man, patting her cheek. 'Too pale, too pale. She is not like what she was.'
'When?'
asked the child. 'Ah!' said the old man. 'To be sure. When? How many weeks ago? Could I count them on my fingers? Let them rest, though. They're better gone.'
'Much better, dear,' replied the child. 'We will forget them, or, if we ever call them to mind, it shall be only as some uneasy dream that has passed away.'
'Hush!' said the old man, motioning hastily to her with his hand, and looking over his shoulder. 'No more talk of the dream, and all the miseries it brought. There are no dreams here. 'Tis a quiet place, and they keep away. Let us never think about them, lest they should pursue us again. Sunken eyes and hollow cheeks, wet, cold, and famine, and horrors before them all that were even worse. We must forget such things if we would be tranquil here.'
'Thank Heaven,'
inwardly exclaimed the child,
'for this most happy change.'
'I will be patient,' said the old man, 'humble, very thankful, and obedient, if you will let me stay. But do not hide from me, do not steal away alone. Let me keep beside you. Indeed, I will be very true and faithful, Nell.'
'I steal away alone? Why that,' replied the child, with assumed gaiety, 'would be a pleasant jest indeed. See here, dear grandfather, we'll make this place our garden. Why not? It is a very good one, and to-morrow we'll begin, and work together, side by side.'
'It is a brave thought,' cried her grandfather. 'Mind, darling, we begin to-morrow.' Who so delighted as the old man, when they next day began their labour? Who so unconscious of all associations connected with the spot as he? They plucked the long grass and nettles from the tombs, thinned the poor shrubs and roots, made the turf smooth, and cleared it of the leaves and weeds. They were yet in the ardour of their work, when the child, raising her head from the ground over which she bent, observed that the bachelor was sitting on the stile close by, watching them in silence. 'A kind office,' said the little gentleman, nodding to Nell as she curtsied to him. 'Have you done all that this morning?'
'It is very little, sir,' returned the child, with downcast eyes, 'to what we mean to do.'
'Good work, good work,' said the bachelor. 'But do you only labour at the graves of children and young people?'
'We shall come to the others in good time, sir,' replied Nell, turning her head aside, and speaking softly. It was a slight incident, and might have been design or accident, or the child's unconscious sympathy with youth, but it seemed to strike upon her grandfather, though he had not noticed it before. He looked in a hurried manner at the graves, then anxiously at the child, then pressed her to his side, and bade her stop to rest. Something he had long forgotten appeared to struggle faintly in his mind. It did not pass away, as weightier things had done, but came uppermost again, and yet again, and many times that day, and often afterwards. Once, while they were yet at work, the child, seeing that he often turned and looked uneasily at her, as though he were trying to resolve some painful doubts or collect some scattered thoughts, urged him to tell the reason. But he said it was nothing, nothing, and, laying her head upon his arm, patted her fair cheek with his hand, and muttered that she grew stronger every day, and would be a woman soon. Chapter 54